Hello and welcome. You're watching Greenwich Live Sessions. This is your host Umar Khan, and I'm back with another show, another guest. And let me introduce my guest for today. He is the country head of Organization for Hotel and Tourism Management, OTHM UK. He's an entrepreneur and advisor for higher education in Singapore. So let me welcome our first guest for today, Dr. James Tan. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
I'm good. It's my pleasure to join you tonight. Yeah.
It, it's our pleasure as well. We also have with us Mr. Salman Rajani, who is a lecturer at Greenwich University. He's also manager, ORIC, and program coordinator of OTHM. So welcome to the show, Salman. I hope you are well.
Thank you, Mer. Yeah, I'm good. Hope the same for you.
Yes, thank you so much. So, Dr. James, I want to start with you. We all
Sure.
know that we're in a situation right now globally due to the pandemic, COVID 19. You're right now in Singapore. How are things there right now?
We call it circuit breaker, which is in short a lockdown. So currently we are in the first at 1.5 month now. So we are hoping that they will ease the circuit breaker by 1st of June. And right now, we are restricted in certain movement. We can only go out of our house when we buy our grocery store or buy food. And a law has been in place that once we step out of our house, we have to wear a mask. So currently, is quite restricted. A lot of activities has to be come to a store at this moment in time. Yeah.
Right. So, how have you been spending all this time? Because, of course, they're forced to change our lifestyles, the way we work. So, how have you been spending all this time?
Um, in fact, I've been spending most of my time advising school what to do during this period in time where a lot of school will come to me to say that the students number have dropped. And this is a factual question where every school will face the same problem at this point in time. So a lot of school will come to me to ask me what should they do and what should they do differently in order to gain some businesses. Yeah, so I've been advising school for the past few weeks every day. Yeah, so have been keeping myself very busy. Yeah.
Absolutely, and we need to stay busy and positive. That's one thing for sure. So, of course, the basic topic for today is, and the basic reason is that we need to spread awareness about the OTHM program. Greenwich University will be offering the OTHM program in this summer. So, I would like to ask you, why should a student opt for this program, and what's the benefit for them?
Okay, let me give a brief background of OTHM. OTHM have been uh, in more than 30 countries right now. And currently, we offer a wide range of programs ranging from the area of finance, accounting, hospitality, business, project, logistic, and so on. So our coverage, we cover from level 3, which is A-level equivalent, to all the way to level 7. Level 7 is postgraduate equivalent. So we have a wide spectrum of area to cover at the same time, different levels. So the advantage of taking OTHM is this. OTHM is a regulated program where it's regulated by AFQA, which is the regulating body in UK. So this regulatory body and OTHM are internationally recognized program worldwide. So I think
Absolutely.
the advantage will be, once you get the OTHM certificate, you will be recognized by most of the country uh, as as whether or not you are going to progress to the next level of your study or to work. So that will give you advantage towards other people when you get a regulated program like OTHM.
Definitely. Salman, you're of course, the program coordinator, and as you all know, Pakistan is this course is not very popular in Pakistan as compared to the UK. So, what would you like to tell our students, and how can you motivate them and tell the importance of this course, especially if they tend to do a future degree in the UK?
Yeah. So there's a lot of tendency in the students that obviously anything that comes for the first time in the market, people are a bit apprehensive to test it. They are worried that whether it will be recognized or not, whether they have a future with it, whether or not their money is going to be secure enough when they invest in it. So these are the issues that, or these are the apprehensions that the students initially have. So as Dr. James had mentioned that all of OTHM qualifications are vetted by Ofqual, which is the UK degree attestation body and qualification body, regulatory body. So this is the good thing about these qualifications that since these are Ofqual regulated, therefore students don't have to worry about whether or not their degrees will be recognized, whether or not their progressions will be recognized. And I believe this then gives them an opportunity to have a degree that is truly international in its outlook.
Absolutely. So, Dr. James, we've been noticing that globally this program is gaining quite a lot of attention. People are opting to choose the hospitality field, they are opting to choose the hotel management, and there's a lot of scope globally. So, how do you look at it?
Um, in fact, based on Singapore context, we are not talking about any scenario that is COVID at this point in time, because at this point in time, of course, you are talking about hospitality, hotel management. The numbers will be down definitely because at this point in time, nobody willing to travel and a lot of travel restriction as well. But
Right.
COVID-19 will need to end at certain point in time, whether or not this year or next year. After after COVID-19 have ended, when it comes to end, it could be a vaccine or whatever cure that is coming upon. So when we come to the end of COVID-19, definitely the travel industry will definitely pick up. And that is the point in time where we need a lot of trained professional to come into the industry to serve the industry as well. So, for example, in Singapore, all these are hospitality students are very in demand in Singapore, like hotel industry, service industry as well. So it's very in demand at this point in time.
You raised a very good point that due to COVID-19, the tourism industry will be affected throughout the year. So we've seen all of the businesses and all of the industries, they have adapted to somewhat something that they can manage during this time. How do you think that this industry of tourism and hotel management can adapt or save their businesses during this time and the after effect of COVID-19?
Actually, at this point in time, the hotel industry, in fact, is a good time to train and retrain their staff to be ready for once the COVID-19 is over. Because during the actual operation is very difficult to train the staff because everyone is very busy. So although there's a COVID-19 at this point in time, training the staff is essential because you grab hold of the opportunity to train the staff. But of course, during this period, we are not able to do it face to face, but we are able to do it online, like what Ganesh University is planning to do, and we can also do it like certain platform like Zoom or Skype as well. All this training can be conducted. Um, so at this point in time, I think it's a good opportunity, although the profit is going down, but it's good opportunity to gear up and then to face the future.
Absolutely. Very rightly said that we can utilize this time to train our staff and get ready for the future. Salman, what would you like to add to this point?
Um, Yeah, so definitely, as Dr. Ten just highlighted, that this is a very uncertain time, and uncertainty leads to a fear of the future, and whether or not students also have this anxiety that whether they should wait it out, they should opt for the summer courses or not, or whether they should wait for a time when face-to-face tuitions are available again. So these are uncertain times, not just for the students, but also for the teachers. So, Dr. Ten, my question then is that for these students who will take a break from the learning and later on they will rejoin the education field. So, does OTHM has any edge or any relaxation that it can give to these kind of students, or any benefit that OTHM qualification can bring to these type of people who are continuing their education, or let's say people who are mature learners in that sense?
Yes, in fact, uh, OTHM, we have two ways of entry requirement. First entry requirement will be via academic. Of course, if you are going to a master's level, must have a degree. This is via the academic path. Another path of the going to OTHM as an entry requirement, it can go through the mature path. That's to say, example, I just quote example for those who progress to postgrad level at level 7. um, the the student need to be 21 years old and then have few years of working experience as a management level, and we recognize the working experience as entry requirement. But of course, on the other hand, the centers itself will need to uh, test or conduct certain English proficiency tests to make sure that the students are up on par, because we in OTHM we do not want to see any failures or student drop out in that perspective. So we will definitely want to make sure that the students who join OTHM can successfully pass out from OTHM.
Thank you,
Right,
Dr. Ten.
very rightly said. And we've seen the change in the whole education industry in a whole. We've seen that the typical traditional degrees that used to opt for, 50 years ago, doctors, engineers, now people tend to set for skill-based education. Tend to enhance their skills as well. So I think this is a very fresh kind of a program which add on some very different sets of skills for the students.
Yes, I do agree because example for hotel management is a form of skill set that is training the student a certain form of skill set. Some university also do provide some um, internship per se. So these are a form is in terms of skill set for the students as well. Um, as for um, what we used to do in the past, which is face to face teaching in a university platform, but I think when we come to COVID-19, that mentality will change uh, towards the online platform, because just to be very factual, even COVID-19 go away tomorrow, the market will not recover immediately, which is the market will definitely take some time to recover. And and as a parent, you may also fear that, to send your kids to a school, um, although we have recovered, but then the fear in the parents is still there. So what we need to do now, the best way is to go for online, and then once the situation change, maybe then we can conduct some face to face. But I think COVID-19 have teach us a very good lessons to make sure we are prepared, whether or not um, when there's a situation like this, uh, we will go through online. But I think we will definitely good to carry on this kind of practice throughout, because we do not know when this kind of pandemic will hit us again.
Right. Salman, you yourself are a lecturer. You have been putting on your online sessions as well. So, if we add on your experience of online classes, how would you comment on what just Dr. James said?
I agree absolutely because all of these things are easier said than done. Because when you enter your classrooms, you gain energy by looking at your students, what they are feeling, their emotions, their expression, everything from their face, you can judge and gauge whether or not they understand what you are trying to teach them. But Zoom and these other options, though they have brought closer in virtual spaces, but that kind of energy, that kind of live interaction that we draw from our students that is missing. And often at times we are conducting sessions at 9 a.m. in the morning, and half of the students, it's very, they are online in their beds and wearing their PJs, and it's very difficult to get them in that study spirit at these times. And obviously, we understand that this is something that is new for them. This is experience that they need to gel in with. So yeah, these times, though they are uncertain, they create a lot of challenge. But I believe there is an opportunity in this, and there's a lot that we can do as a nation to make use of this time and the technological benefit that we have been pushed into. But this is something that will change the face of education forever, I believe, in Pakistan.
Absolutely right, and open a lot of new doors as well. What we've seen that during this time, lots of students they tend to pick up online courses, and they have actually widened their horizon to international boundaries as well. So I think it's a very good platform if you stay positive, constructive. There's a lot you can learn, and one thing is for sure: once when this COVID-19 ends, the student will appreciate the classes because they do miss their teachers, they do miss the interaction. So I think we are once we're back, so things are going to be much better. So I'll include some comments. We have our very beloved Madam Seema Mughal, the Chancellor of Greenwich University, and she says, Dr. James Tan, it is a pleasure to have you at our platform. We are looking forward towards having OTHM programs through both the stream's academic and work experience background. COVID 19 is definitely a challenge, but has opportunity as well.
I do agree with her completely. Yeah, because I think COVID-19, although it's bad, but it um push the way that the human think, and actually push out of our comfort zone, because we have been living in our comfort zone for years, till COVID-19 hit us, and that is the point in time where people try to do something different, like, so I think although COVID-19 is a very bad scenario that is going to happen, that is happening, but it also, on the positive side, is it also push a human to think differently in a way, and to move out of their comfort zone, to do something that is um, more beneficial in a way. Yeah.
Absolutely right. So we'll add on some more comments as well. Our very beloved Dr. Nimal De Silva is also here with us. He's watching us, and he says, "Fantastic, great to see Salman as well." So Salman, you're getting some fan base right now.
Yeah, we had a pleasure to host Dr. De Silva when he came for our graduation program, the convocation that we had, and it was an absolute delight to have him here and as a guest here in Pakistan.
Absolutely. So next comment is Manur Farooqi, and she says, "I agree. Nothing can replace physical lectures and classroom studies. Online has proven to be beneficial in this situation, but nothing can beat face-to-face lectures." So we all do miss the face-to-face interactions.
Yeah, I think I I study in the past, all the way is face to face, and I've never take up any online courses before, but I think when the situation change, we have to change accordingly to adapt to the situation. Otherwise, we will be stagnant. Just for example, a school contacted me 2 weeks ago to And he says that the students do not want to go to the class. So what should they do? So in this scenario, you're only given two choices. One choice is yes, you waste your time sitting at home doing nothing. Another choice is you can take up the online courses, and then while waiting for COVID-19 to pandemic to subside, the curve. Once the curve is flattened, I think the government will then open up the restriction again. So it's a matter of knowledge against time, because whether or not you want to sit at home and wait till a good time for you to step out, or you want to learn at home, I think the choice is very clear.
Very well said. The choice is absolutely very clear that how you want to spend all this time. You want to spend it in being constructive and being a better self as a person. Because I believe that life is giving us a second chance. We can take this time to improve ourselves, the things around us, give time to things that we always used to say we're very busy with work and we cannot give time to this, we cannot give time to that. Now we can spend all the time with our families, we can spend all the time to think how to spend a better life and make better decisions in the future as well. So absolutely, that's right. Salman, I would like to ask you something. Greenwich University will be offering OTHM in the summers. So how do you think that during this time the students can gain from this, and what future scope do you see of OTHM in Pakistan?
Thank you, Amar. So, as we have discussed, in the present scenario in Pakistan is that there is a lot of saturation, and the options that people usually take are quite limited. So, in that sense, OTHM will give them a flexibility, a variety of options. They can go for logistics management, they can go for healthcare, they can go for higher education. There are other fields, though they're quite popular as well. For example, accountancy and business management, but OTHM routes are much faster. The plus about this is that you don't have to take any exams, so there is nothing to worry about. So all for majority of OTHM qualifications, it's a pass or fail degree, and therefore all of the assessment is done via lectures, and whatever your lecturer will decide as an assessment for learning, that will be it, and there will be no exams. So there is a very positive point that it is a kind of degree where you don't have to be afraid, you don't have to be bounded in that factual knowledge that you have to rote learn things, you have to remember certain facts and figures. No, it's nothing like that. Everything is assignment based, and these are the assignments that you and your lecturer together decide upon, and they are available for any kind of support, they're available for any kind of follow-ups. So I believe these degrees are the need of the day, and they don't just expand the options and the boundaries of knowledge that we have, but it makes it easier for the students to be engaged constantly. And I believe, given that the situation, given that the stress that every student especially feels nowadays, these degrees are a terrific way, a very incredible way to come out of the stress of exams and pressure. And these degrees will definitely benefit whoever approaches them.
Absolutely, absolutely right. And then again, we have this whole fresh approach because in Pakistan we've been seeing intermediate and A levels degrees for years, and now we have this other option of OTHM. So that adds on to the knowledge of people that they can opt for different degrees before starting their universities. So I'll add on another comment here. We have with us Bametian, a Burmesian historian, and I hope I pronounced that right. He says COVID 19 has learned to the world that knowledge is important, not distant. So I think he's very right that we all got to know that knowledge is the key. Distance doesn't matter, restrictions doesn't matter. Even if we are locked down here in our home, we have access to the whole knowledge in the world.
Agree. I just want to add to Saman comment just now. In fact, in OTHM, we train someone that is street smart. We believe in training someone that is street smart and not exam smart. That is the reason why um, OTHM do not have exam, because we believe exam smart doesn't mean street smart, because end of the day you have to face your work and you have to face your boss as well. So in that perspective, you have to be street smart because you are working for your boss. Uh, I mean, I'm not disqualifying exam is no good or whatever, but I'm saying that there's different type of perspective and different type of trainings that we are concentrating on. We do believe in street smart people. Thus, all our course, all our module are assignment based, because assignment based will train street smart candidates.
A very well raised point, Dr. James, that apart from teaching education, the student should be street smart as well, because we have no idea what life has in store for us. We don't have any contingency plans for any things. Like, for example, just take this COVID-19. No one expected this would happen. But if you're street smart, you're ready to adapt, you have your contingency plans ready, you're smart enough to innovate and improvise with life and your profession. So that would be a complete add-on. So Salman, what would you like to say? How important is it to be a street smart as well, being educated?
I absolutely agree because you see, it is very easy in our current education scenario. We do create people who have perfect 4 GPAs, but that doesn't mean that when they reach their destination, either in business or in corporates where they want to serve, that whatever they have learned as a theory will they will be able to apply it. So it's very crucial that we understand this, that every student is different, their learning needs are different, and how they engage with their curriculum is also very different. So we cannot expect every student to be at the same level and create same kind of output that one particular student is producing. So therefore, this notion that street smartness and that practical knowledge that you have is very important, and this is something that today's employers are also looking for. They don't want people who are just expert in the bookish knowledge. They know all the theories, but when it comes to practical life, they cannot apply it. So I believe now street smartness is gaining an edge over people with who have, let's say, perfect GPAs.
Absolutely right. And what I personally believe that if you're street smart, you learn the skill of surviving. And what I believe that if you know the skill to survive, you can deal with any situation with life, no matter how hard or how tough it is. So I absolutely agree with both of you. I'll add on a few more comments. And we have with us our lecturer and the head of linguistics of Greenwich University, Ma'am Shazia Nasir. She says, very well said, Dr. James, as even the topmost companies are no more looking at the grades or degrees, but how street smart a candidate is. So, what would you like to say on that?
No, I actually totally agree with her, because as educator myself for so many years, it have been proven that exam smart doesn't mean equals street smart. Because just imagine, you need to study for, let's say, 20, 30 years, but you have your working life for another 50, 60 years. So why do you train yourself to be exam smart where the ratio is not really that proportion? Because your working life is about 50, 60 years.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So we'll add one more comment. Asad Omar is with us. He is an alumni of Greenwich University and also a national level table tennis player. He represented Pakistan team for the table tennis sport, and he's a very nice person. He says great point raised, and he totally agrees. So now, with all the conversation we had, we're running out of time for this program, but it was a wonderful conversation. I would like to ask you, Dr. James, how was your experience of being on this show and discussing about OTHM?
Uh, feel very honored to be in this program as well because I always feel that especially this live session, it seems like you are talking to the audience. Although right now I'm talking to a computer, but then it feels very real, and at the same time, audience are having their feedback as well. So I thought these are a very innovative way of doing as well. Like like what I mentioned, during Street Smart, I think Ganesh University is on the frontier.
Right. Speaking of Greenwich University, I'll add on another comment. This is from the student provost of Greenwich University, Naveed Mughal, and he says, looking at the current scenario, conventional methods towards educational degrees is slowly becoming obsolete. Alternative pathways such as OTHM are paving way to the future. That's exactly about the point we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Um, yeah, in fact, as a school owner or or some university, you may know that due to COVID-19, a lot of university have stopped the on-campus recruitment. Uh, and some of the government have also stopped student pass approval. So the only choice for the to move forward right now, of course, is to go online and wait for the situation to cool down or the curve to be flattened. So yeah.
Right. Thank you very much for that. Salman, before we leave, I would like to ask you, how was your experience? It was your debut, your first time on the show. How was your experience?
It was great, in fact. It was a pleasure speaking to you both. And also, as Dr. James pointed out, that it is a very different experience to see all these formats and see that all, not just our faculty locally, but also internationally, is connected with us. And it was very nice to hear from Sima Mughal herself and our management that not only they just mentioned a very valid points about the process and how the face of education in Pakistan is going to change, and I think for good, and also to know that what kind of opportunities that everyone sees and what the future has in store for us. So I think it was a delight being a part of the show.
Absolutely. The pleasure is all ours. And once again, I'd like to thank you again, Dr. James Stan, for your
Thank you.
time and for the
Thank you.
wonderful add ons and the awareness that you brought on to the show. I would like to tell everyone, all our audience, whoever wants to apply for this OTHM course at Greenwich University, you can see the details below where our numbers are mentioned, where you can call us and you can WhatsApp us for details. You can always visit our website and always get the details of the admissions and sign up fast because we're into COVID-19. We've got so much to do and there's a lot we can add on. So we'll be back tomorrow with another guest, another program. Until next time, Pakistan Zindabad.